I'm not complaining watching these big creators crashing and burning. I welcome it. What up, a-holes? Welcome back to the channel. If you're not yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below. Give me a thumbs up. Just played some basketball. That's why I'm all sweaty and jacked. Got my feet in the ground here because I heard somewhere that it was a good thing to do. Got the East River behind me. A lot of people talking about this YouTube adpocalypse thing, and what I want to do is give a testimony from a small creator's perspective, because all you hear about right now is how the big creators are suffering, but nobody's talking about the small creators like me. And when I say small, I'm talking small. I got 19 subscribers. I have just a little over 300 views on all my videos. I got like a minute of watch time per video, so it doesn't really get any smaller than me. But let me tell you what I think of adpocalypse. I think it's probably the best thing that could happen to YouTube right now, because what's to stop some little guy from coming in, some little business coming in and pulling all that precious ad time? The cost of ads are going to go way down, so that now you can get smaller businesses coming in and advertising. These advertisers who are pulling out because they're under pressure from different government agencies. They need YouTube more than YouTube needs them. They need the advertising. They need to put their ads out there, because you cannot argue with a video from a guy like PewDiePie who gets like 1 million views on a video per hour. You know, you can't argue with these big creators who are getting millions and millions of views, and you're just gonna pull out of that? And quite frankly, I welcome that. I don't want to get huge and then have Chrysler be one of my sponsors. You know, I don't want McDonald's showing ads on my Holistic A-Hole channel. I don't want Coca-Cola showing ads on my Holistic A-Hole channel. I want some little mom and pop business. I want some little small marketing company. You know, I want some new vegan fake meat company to come in. You know, I want the little businesses to come up, you know, get those looks on their product. They deserve it. And this is coming from a little creator. Because the thing that cracks me up about YouTube is just the sheer amount of money and the sheer amount of people that are involved in the whole situation. You know, when you post a video and you have 1 million, 2 million, 3 million views, and then, you know, the top rated weekly sitcom on television barely can crack, you know, 250K, I mean, that's really saying something. That really shows how weak the mainstream media is. They can't keep up. They absolutely can't keep up. And so what makes me laugh is you have all these big creators who for the last 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 years have been building an entire brand around prank videos, around cooking videos, around vlogs, just walking around and people caring about what they're doing, you know, about living with their parents and, you know, not going to school, or, you know, not getting a real job and knowing what it's like to be an actual adult who pays taxes and, you know, and has to do a bunch of stuff that they don't want to do. That's not my problem. That's your problem. I have a real job. I make money. I've learned how to survive on my own and how to survive as an adult and make money and make sacrifices and make decisions. I'm not just flipping on my camera saying a bunch of bullshit, spouting out my random opinions about this dumb comic book movie, or about, you know, how everyone should be a vegan, or, you know, pulling up other videos making fun of it, and you just happen to get tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars because of that. And there's a whole generation of young YouTube creators that are excited for these big creators to get the hell out of the way. I don't feel bad for you. I don't feel bad that your ad revenue went down from, you know, $10,000 or $1,000 a video to, you know, barely 100. I don't care at all. If anything, I welcome that. I welcome walking into a bowling alley and then you're at the counter. The guy who used to get millions of views now is working at the bowling alley because the only skill they learned from the time they were 17 to 24 was how to make YouTube videos. And they're not even good videos. It's not like these guys are putting any editing effort into their videos. A lot are. I shouldn't discount all of them. There's a lot of great creators out there. But then there's a lot that are just garbage, that just go on like I'm doing right now and spouting, you know? But I go the next step. I use the green screen. I use all kinds of, I've learned editing. I've learned, you know, how to actually shoot something and make it not look like shit. And I'm trying to put quality stuff out there with a real message. And if YouTube never takes off for me, then so be it. So be it, you know? I've got a lot of other skills to be able to survive in this world, you know? And look, let's face it, at this day and time, you know, you gotta know how to survive. I'm not afraid of these fucking trolls. Troll me, I don't care. Talk shit to me, I don't care. The fact is, you're not taking a single dime out of my pocket. Not a single dime. So, the big creators that are crying, it's your fault. It's your fault. You fucked up. You let the trolls win. You let the trolls win. You didn't expand your capabilities. You just settled for what you got. You didn't realize how lucky you were. You didn't have a gratitude practice. The most important thing is have a gratitude practice. Look, let's also say this. Maybe this opens up the door for a whole new platform. Maybe if all these creators are complaining about restricted mode, maybe restricted mode becomes the new cool. Maybe that becomes the new rock and roll that the parents are all afraid of and the kids only know about. Just go, make it a habit. Click your settings to click your default settings to restricted mode. Only watch videos on restricted mode. So it was bound to happen. This was inevitable. It's a life lesson, if anything. If it's too good to be true, then it most likely is. Now you know. And you can either accept it and move on with your life, or you can cry about it. You can go on YouTube and cry about it. If anything, what I want to see is I want to see how they pull themselves out. I want to see how the big YouTube channels adapt, because it says more about your character to rise up from defeat than to just be winning all the time. So now you're losing, so how do you recover? That's what I want to see the big YouTube channels do. And the fact is, most of these nerds, they can't recover. I have no problem watching some channel based off of some person who is nothing but being a troll or nothing but being a social justice warrior, complaining about things without doing the research, having such a large audience only because they got on YouTube 10 years ago. I have no problem watching these people crash and burn. I feel like an asshole saying it, but let's look at it this way. They wouldn't be looking out for me. They're not looking out for you. They're just a bunch of babies who got lucky. They got lucky because they got in on this, they got a video or two that went viral, they built themselves an audience, they played the game, they laid the first chapter of the book, but now the book's going to the second chapter. As far as the big advertisers go, let's let them go. Let's let them go. I don't want to have, you know, these big corporations advertising on my channel. I don't want big pharmaceutical companies advertising on my channel. I don't want these people who my whole channel is against in the first place to gain any kind of revenue to push any one of their shitty products on my channel. That's just how I feel. So if they're gone, they're gone. And let me tell you something. If businesses are smart, if they're smart and they look at the straight numbers that YouTube pulls, then they'll know. This will come around and they'll say, look, we need YouTube. We're not making anything off of our, you know, newspaper ads. We're not making anything off of, you know, our clickbait articles we post on Yahoo. We get more from the sheer numbers of people who are on YouTube. You can't debate millions of people who are just flicking through YouTube on their phone. You can't. So, big channels, here's what I gotta say to you. Au revoir. Adios, amigos. It was good knowing you. Thanks for laying the pavement. The new generation will take it from here. So maybe if anything, what this does is this opens up a new platform. Maybe YouTube diversifies, because not everything should be concentrated on YouTube. There should be different platforms to spread out everything. It shouldn't be just YouTube, especially considering YouTube's owned by Google, and Google's super corrupt. They'll label you some Russian spy network if they don't like the things that you're saying. If you take a stance about health news, if you really try to look into what's really going on in international politics, they don't like when you say that. They don't like when you question the mainstream media narrative. And now they want all these creators to conform. They want all these creators to start making this family-friendly BS, which, look, most people on YouTube aren't on it for family-friendly. Most people on YouTube are on it to hear the opinions, to hear radical opinions. That's what it's for. It's for the alternative news. YouTube is not for CNN, it's not for MSNBC, it's not for the New York Times, it's for some douche in his basement who's been just reading, you know, crazy David Icke articles and, you know, listening to Alex Jones nonstop. Those are the opinions you come to YouTube to hear. There's a reason why Alex Jones has such a massive audience. Tens of millions of people listen to each one of his broadcasts. You cannot argue with those numbers, you know? Maybe, you know, the mainstream media is gonna say, look, we throw out the Super Bowl, that's our big thing. Well, imagine if every episode of television you put out was the Super Bowl. That's what the mainstream media is fighting YouTube against. So as a small creator, I love it. I love that I'm coming in, you know, because what I'm doing right now is what they tell you to do if you play the stock market. I'm buying low. I'm coming in low. I'm putting a lot of effort into, you know, a little tiny channel that has nothing. Let me know what you guys think about Adpocalypse, about the ensuing downfall of YouTube. Thanks for watching, you guys. Remember to give me a thumbs up, keep your eyes open for more videos, and know deep in my holistic heart, I love you a-holes. Holistic out.